Resources Committee meeting to order for March. Can we have roll call, please?
Kara,
Here.
McKee,
Here.
Hendricks, Gill,
Here.
Whitehouse, Fleming. Here. Brookins. And I said you have floor for a quorum.
Okay, and did we have proper verification of the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I need approval of the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Richard and Julie, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we got agenda now, and do you have a chance to look at the minutes? We had 2 meetings this time to look at. There's no comments or corrections, say that they're approved as public. And now we have public comment. Is there anybody online? Want to comment? It doesn't look like it. Okay, all right, let's go on to the zoning petitions then.
So I'm just gonna let you know that, the packet on the county website is wrong. There's lots of things missing from it. Miranda sent it all to them, so we don't know what happened. So, so just to let you know that it's not, that's what happened.
Which one?
If you go to the county board website, it's missing
A bunch of stuff.
a bunch of stuff.
So that's the one I count on, because mine doesn't sync, and it's never synced.
And I feel bad, but I didn't notice it till this morning, and Miranda didn't notice it till this morning, but it was all sent in. And it's just not there.
Okay. So you'll follow up with IT or somebody?
I think, I don't know, Miranda and I will, because I know that was in the, everything was in the packet.
Okay. Since this is open and people could dial in or come, we're still okay with open meetings, aren't we?
Yeah, we posted the agenda.
Yeah,
That's
even though
what's important.
even though it's not, the packet's not there.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just has to be the agenda so that people know.
Yeah,
what
Mark,
it's
I would talk to IT too.
I've been there multiple times.
They can't figure out the syncing problem.
It still doesn't sync.
Even here it doesn't?
You mean my claims reimbursement form didn't work? I talked to.
There we go.
Oh, good. They said Derek said everybody else's did. Mine didn't work the second, because at one entry to do the second entry. So I don't know, but my stuff is just never.
So you have to go to the website to see stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. We make note of that in the minutes, please.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
So the Bueller petition, he's requesting to rezone the parcel from legal non-conforming to ag residential. It's a 6.66 acre vacant lot, become a future home site. They have a certified survey map done, so that's how they came up with the acreage.
Yeah, I didn't see the certified survey map in.
No, it wasn't,
I mean, I see the
Right.
certified number, but the actual map itself I didn't see.
it was done quite a while ago.
Okay.
So that's,
And not that we have to see it, I just,
it was recorded in October of 2008.
oh, wow.
So I'd have to go online
Yeah.
to, that's what Exhibit A, that's when it was done, so.
So, Miranda, could you pull up that map on the overhead?
No, that's the one that's not in there, in the
Oh,
committee folder.
oh, she can't,
This is all the errors stuff.
Yeah, no, it's a committee folder, that's what I'm saying, it's,
okay. Well, then maybe you can explain to me, which part of this is the parcel we're talking about? Is it the pink one or?
I don't have the colored map in front of me,
It must be the pink, because that's where it says legal entity non-conforming.
Yeah. But I can't see all the boundaries of the parcel either. Did they say where they plan to put a house yet? Have they applied for a building permit or?
No.
They're just getting
No.
it straightened out first?
they're getting straight out first.
Okay.
And it's like a triangular piece there.
Oh, on the north side of the road?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
And they got approval from Henrietta Township.
For purposes of today's meeting, though, they're just cleaning up the zoning ordinance.
Clean up the zoning ordinance.
All right. So we have a motion to approve that. Mark's approving it.
I'll second.
Billy second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Butlers are done. Is that Butler?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Perkins?
The Bach and Pest, they're not ready. We'll have to table that one because we put it on there. They were planning on coming, but we needed a certified survey. They don't have anything put together. They haven't gone to the township, nothing. So that one can be tabled.
So get action on that.
No,
Okay. Okay, oh. Is Electra not gonna be coming to these meetings for a while, or
she's not gonna be coming. She's done as of Friday.
what?
She came to me about 2.5 weeks ago, asking if she got a job she had applied for before that somebody else got, offered her the job again. It's a remote job, so she can work from home. And she wondered if she could do this one part mostly remote. I'm like, well, not really. I said, but I'm gonna, it's like I and Derek and Justin sat down and we're like, this is not really a job that you do remote. You're day to day, you're working with people. If you wanted to work from remote on a bad day, possibly, or, something like that, but on a regular basis. So she decided to take the other job and Friday's her last day here. So I'm having fun now. We're having fun down there.
So, I thought she lived in Casanova.
Yep,
That's not that far.
I know, but this job lets her completely work from home. And
Okay.
if she wanted to go to Florida, she'd go to Florida and work from home.
Times have changed.
I know. So that's where we're at.
So then,
And they've already started advertising for the job.
that's what I was gonna ask.
They just went ahead and started doing that.
When did they start, do you know?
Well, as soon as, like Monday,
Okay,
last week Monday,
okay.
because she gave her 2 weeks on that Friday before and then,
How many applications did we get back when Electra was?
well, we had 3. And one guy took a job with somebody else, and then we had an interview with another guy that was really good, but he was honest. He said he applied for a job more in like administration. He ended up taking a job with Toma. The third one, all 3 were good. Third one was from another country. So he's from Colombia. We didn't realize that on his resume. And so they didn't, we just had his address at school and not. I was like, although we've been really good, we can't,
Does our application form ask if they're a U.S. citizen?
I don't know.
Maybe we should look at that.
That's a job, that's something to talk with, HR.
Could we put that in the minutes also, Brenda? Do you recommend that our application process confirm that kind of thing?
Or at least legally allowed to work in the.
Something,
Mr. Chair,
yes.
could we be putting on our postings if the job can be done from home or
Yeah,
That's another business.
if it requires?
Not a
Yeah.
remote position.
yeah.
Right.
And I think that's one thing, I don't think it's on it.
Unless circumstances.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I think we can, we'll do this time in the interview process, we'll tell them, I think this job can be done remote, it's not.
There would be exceptions for weather. We got
Yeah.
inches of snow. Obviously, they'd have to be able to dial in and do things.
But like if they, right, and if there is a laptop that is available, can be,
And zoning administrators physically have to go to places too. So can you talk to Derek about our overall application process to make sure that is in there when it needs to be?
Yeah, not just for this position.
Right.
No.
Whatever it needs to be.
yeah. So that's why Electra's not here, and it's like,
Okay.
that's why it's me.
Miranda, make sure that's news too, that we recommend that our hiring process have that as one of the criteria.
So remote, but the job postings specify remote versus non-remote. And
So-
then,
Yep.
I mean, to apply for a job, you have to be authorized to work in the United States, that's any
Yeah.
job anywhere.
Right.
So if you're not authorized to work in the United States, you don't have to be expected to apply for a job.
Yeah, that's assume that
That's,
people
Yeah.
live, work here.
but I will put that in the.
You know, I mean, I guess,
Obviously, we can't assume.
I guess,
I attended the January board meeting for the mayor.
Yeah, but you live here. Yeah,
It's in the board rules,
Yeah.
yeah. So we have addressed it for board members.
And a December meeting, from my son's place in Florida.
I think that's an unusual circumstance.
Yep.
I don't know if we're gonna get a lot of
no.
countries.
So now we're doing it again, so we'll see what happens.
Then no more bragging from Richard, okay?
We don't wanna know any place else.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Then, last week, Tuesday and Wednesday, I had signed up, I looked her up too, but she could, I didn't send her then, but I went to this, I guess they have it every year, they have a training for, and it's basically county staff, sanitation staff. Best thing I went to in a long time. I mean, it was really intense, but I learned a lot and met other people and, next year I'll go again. It was really good. I picked up a lot of things we need to look at, like we probably in the next year want to look at the sanitary ordinance and, make sure, I don't know when the last time it was updated and make sure it's up to date with everything.
Who all went to it?
Me, and then I met the gal from Crawford County and I met the 3 guys from Grant County. And we kind of talked and said it'd be nice to get together with, even if just online with Matt, from Vernon County, and then whoever from Iowa County to talk. How do you, so we're handling things similar as far as, or how they handle things.
Who put the training on?
Department of DSPS, Department of Safety Professional Services. That's the one you're licensed for.
So when we get a new zoning administrator, you would recommend they go next time?
And I'll go again. It was that good.
Anybody else in your crew that maybe would benefit?
Not possibly Jen. But,
You decide.
yep. And so then I found out when I got back that the one we've been holding off on a sanitary permit, found out that I sent an email to the guy at the state, found out, no, the county is the one that approves holding tanks and in-ground conventional. Oh, I've never reviewed a septic plan before like that. So then the guy, the area person that, we talked to about it, walked me through the process. So check for approval so I signed off on my first septic system that I kind of reviewed with help. So it's actually a county permit for in-ground conventional and holding tanks.
How's that different from what you've done?
No, okay, so anything other than that, like at grades, mounds,
Yeah.
anything like that has to be reviewed by the state. That's a state permit.
Right.
In-ground conventional and holding tanks are reviewed by the county.
Oh,
And I
you're
didn't
the
know,
final word on
apparently,
those. Okay.
I'm learning as I go. So that's where we're at. And, so hopefully we get somebody and then they stick around.
Anything else on zoning?
Nope.
Okay.
Land conservation, we're gonna finish up next week when Corey and I and Derek are going to the annual conference in in Green Bay. So we leave Wednesday morning. When we get back, then 3 of us and Jen are gonna go through the work plan and finalize that to send into the state.
Okay.
What we're gonna be doing this next year and some things we may wanna try. And then, you're approving the grant, staffing grant today. They'll go to county board, so those get sent to the state. We've still got the tree sale going on. We're got a lot of trees yet to sell. So if you know anybody looking for trees, just go to the county website. There's a bar on the website, and we just need to and go in and order trees.
Front page.
Yep.
I ordered them.
So we got a lot of trees left for sale. So maybe pushing things once we know when the trees are coming too, because
When will the tree sale be completed? Whenever we run out of trees, or is there a
well,
certain-
either whether when we run out of trees or once the trees come in, we have trees left when those are all gone. So
Maybe you said it, but when are the trees gonna be here?
usually when they come last year, was it May, April or May?
We get on the website that they should arrive.
Yep. So
Okay,
I just mentioned that the department had a meeting to let their staff know we've got trees for sale. So if you know anybody looking for trees to plant, just go to the county website. Can't think of anything else. They've either, the three of them, Corey, Jen, and Derek have either picked up on some trainings either online or from themselves, so it's been working out really good. And very good. They've been very proactive about getting training. So that's all I got.
okay. All right. Looks like it's your turn.
Well, just a couple of highlights before I pass it over to Carlene. On the ag side of things, one of the things I highlight specifically for Richland County is Anastasia, I think, was working with Kathy's office, and they finished up their nutrient management class at the beginning of February. And sounds like 11 farmers completed that course. So that was a really successful partnership between you guys. And she was doing some statewide nutrient management trainings online as well. Beth had a lot of beef programs that were kind of in the region, not necessarily right in Richland County, but she helped plan what was called the planning team for the Driftless Beef Conference, which was held just across the river in Iowa, but it encompassed a lot of the counties on both sides of Wisconsin. Getting into the human development related. Definitely sounds like a hammer drill now that you say it. No problem. Then, our human development relationships educator, Sarah, is one thing that she's launched into office hours for individual family financial planning, and she's completed her coaching certification. So now she can not just sit down with them and go over a budget, but actually provide some longer term individual coaching. So regular check-ins and how are you doing and things like that. So those are some things, and the Get Real program is moving forward. So with that, I will turn it over to Carlene to talk about our 4-H program.
All right, so I have a quick handout for you, pass those around, and I can send that to you electronically if you'd like as well. Sure. Or you can scan it. Just want to give you a real quick overview. I'll talk as those are going around of extensive youth programs and highlighting programs that we've had this year. If you look in the gray box, it'll show you kind of what our outreach programs look like. I think the misconception often is that extension youth programs are 4-H and it's just a couple of farm kids, or a few farm kids showing at the fair, and really 4-H programs are a lot more than that. We have 11 community clubs. Or did you get copies over there?
That's what
You want to hand some to them? 4-H groups meet throughout Richland County, and we actually have 2 clubs that meet here in Richland Center. So we reach, youth throughout Richland County. In addition to 4-H club programs, we also have countywide youth groups. We have our junior leaders group that meets. There are some project-specific groups that meet as well, where kids learn about a specific topic, whether that be they have weekly shooting sports practice, or they, we have a rabbit group and they learn about rabbits. So they meet once a month. So there's some countywide groups as well. Extension also does education outreach with youth programs. With after-school programs. I'm currently doing after-school programming with Ithaca schools. We've had Richland Center reach out. We did after-school programs with them last year, and they're interested in continuing and doing some more programming this spring with Extension. Juntos program is a specific outreach to Hispanic families. It's a partnership with Richland Center Schools.
What was the name of it?
It's called Juntos. We've done it the last 3 or 4 years, and it's a research-based program. Looks at helping or working with families on communication, learning about the American education system, and really helps kids not only be successful and complete high school, but look at post-secondary options as well.
How many participants do you have in that program?
Last couple of years we've had, maybe it's a family program, so we've had about 7 or 8 families that participate in it. A few kids from each one. It's a 5-week series, and then followed by a visit to either Southwest Tech or UW Platteville, where they get to do a campus tour, and the program is offered in Spanish. So we partner with a translator to provide the program.
So in your handout where you say partnership with community organizations, that would be an example.
Yeah, that was one that we do in partnership with the schools. We also do other programming, like have partnered with the library in the past and other organizations. I'm excited this year we received funding to hire an AmeriCorps or students. So we'll be doing some outreach programming, day camps and other educational programs for kids this summer with the additional
Funding's
staffing.
there?
Yeah, funding's there.
Okay.
A lot of the funding comes through the Wisconsin. You probably know the funding sources better than I do. We just have to do a 1/4 match within the county, and the rest is funded through Wisconsin 4-H AmeriCorps partnership. So it's
AmeriCorps.
Yeah.
I didn't catch what your AmeriCorps person might be doing.
Day camps and other outreach programs, primarily in partnership with other, organizations here in the community. So, I'm hoping we could do some programming maybe at the library to reach kids that aren't traditionally involved in 4-H. We'll be doing programming for kids who are currently enrolled, but also, maybe we'll partner, like in the past, we've done after school program. We did a cooking class and we did it after school.
Okay, but you'd be the one coordinating their activities?
Yes. Yep.
How long is that 4-H, or not 4-H, the AmeriCorps term?
The AmeriCorps term, the one we're looking at now, they have year-round programs. We just have a summer program. So it'll be mid-May through first part of September, end of August sometime, I'm not sure. And that's the primary target for those is college students. We have 3 students who have applied for it, all former 4-H members, and we're doing interviews next week.
Okay.
So, and we received a grant for the funding for the county portion, and then the remaining amount is paid through the state.
Great.
So then if you want to look at, I just wanted to, the pictures speak 1,000 words. So I threw a few pictures on there just so you can kind of see some of the things that have been happening in 4-H this year. In January, we had our officer training workshop, and I always like to say, look at the pictures of those kids, because in 30 years, those are the kids that may be sitting in your seat, because and that's often true, is they're doing officer training. They're learning about, how to be a treasurer, how to be a club president, how to run a business meeting. How many kids in middle school know how to run a meeting? And they're the kids that are most likely to be involved in their community, whether it be serving on boards, school boards, or church boards, or even county government in the future. So they're getting some of that training right now through 4-H, and officer training is one of the workshops we do to help prepare them for that. Then if you look at some of the pictures in the lower part of the page, we just had our Discovery Day. It's probably one of my favorite events that we do during the year. We reach about 50% is 4-H members, but the other 50% is other kids that come, that maybe just are checking out 4-H or, heard about the program and they're interested. Discovery Day is really a chance for kids to sign up for different classes that are of interest to them. We bring in community volunteers and 4-H volunteers, and they present the kids get hands-on activities. They get to try things out. Kristen Joseph, you'll see on the left-hand side there, she's a local veterinarian. We had 6 kids, and I think there were 8 kids in the class, and I went in and I said, how many of you want to be a veterinarian when you grow up? And 6 hands went up. I'm like, wow, you're in the right place. This is a chance for you to interact and learn about being a vet. And, she talked to them about that, and she brought in some things, and these kids were just really into learning about what it's like to
Breaking down a carcass there, what is that?
I think it's different organs she brought in, and I'm not sure exactly the content she was talking about, but the kids were into it, I mean, she was sharing. Huh?
Hands-on.
Yeah, it was very hands-on, and that's what's exciting, I think, about some of the programming we do is kids, get the opportunity to really hear it from the source and have those hands-on opportunities.
Right. So.
The picture below is also from Discovery Day, and this was a rocketry class, and it was kids who were one of the youth leaders who was helping out with that class has gone to space camp, and he actually got to, do some of the exercises that the astronauts do, and he shared with the kids about what it's like to go to 4-H space camp, and I'm guessing we'll have more kids in the future that want to go to space camp because of his experience. He's not in this picture, but he brought his rockets and talked about the program that he attended. And then the kids also, they did some science experiments, and then they built a model rocket, and the 4-H volunteer who taught this class is going to offer another program again later this summer where the kids can bring their rockets and shoot them off and just kind of learn the whole process. So it was a fun learning day. We had about, between the volunteers and the youth leaders and the participants, about 120 folks participated in that program. So just wanted to share a few highlights of what we've been doing in 4-H and open to any questions you might have, or if you know any families who might be interested, by all means, have them give us a call. We'd love to help them get connected.
I'm just curious, well, maybe Adam, do you know if there's any funding freezes that affected you guys?
Currently, there is nothing that's affecting extension at the moment. Obviously, it's been high on the university's radar.
Right.
There's some things, but as far as extension is concerned, we're still operating pretty much day to day. As a majority of what the county educators are doing are supported by county and state funds.
Yeah.
There are some federal funds that are attached, but not to the extent where it would disrupt programming at the moment.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Never ending STR discussion.
Well, what happened was there was a few typos in there, and so they wanted me to bring it back. I hadn't caught it still had the 2-year license in there, and I switched it to 1 year, which was decided at the last meeting. And there were some other things, I don't have it highlighted in this one, but I think there was something about the fee schedule. I made that change.
I don't remember what they were, but there were enough things that they kicked it back.
Right,
so.
and I had written down all the changes, and I made all those changes. The big one had to do with the biggest one had to do with the length of the term of the license.
Yeah. Anyway, I did not go through and try to find those, so hopefully.
I caught them all. I kind of highlighted them on the thing, and
If they kick it back again, I'll be embarrassed. But you're pretty sure you caught them all?
yeah, I'm pretty sure I caught them all.
Okay.
I mean, if I didn't, I don't think it's anything major, but like I said,
Okay.
I changed everything to, the biggest thing was the 1 year and make sure it said the fee schedule.
Okay. Okay.
Chair, this is Bob Frank, if I could inject.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the topics were the conditional use permit and
Yep.
make sure that that was covered, the fee schedule, and that it was an annual, and that we set that at, I think it was $20 or something,
Yeah,
whatever you
yeah.
talked about. So those are the 3 topics I recall.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know where that part is about the conditional use permit, but,
Let's make sure we got that right.
and I don't, remember where that was at, Bob? Kind of,
Well, there was the ordinance, I think because the conditional use permit, how is that going to be refunded? And we need to take it off the schedules or off, so that there's a conditional use permit wasn't required. It's just the licensing part that was required.
yep.
Where's that in here? Let's make sure we have it.
So
Yeah, I
is
wanna
there
make sure we
something, was there something in the actual stat or in the ordinance for conditional use permits that requires this? That we have to change that ordinance and get rid of short-term rental in that ordinance? That I wasn't sure of. That's what you're gonna look at.
Oh, in the zoning ordinance, you're talking.
Correct,
Right.
yes, in the zoning
That-
ordinance
that will-
under conditional use permit.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at that today also.
Right, and we'll continue to look at that, but yeah, yep.
I see a couple things on here.
So is this ready to get moved on, or we want to look at it another month to make sure we got it put together the way we want?
I couldn't hear.
Yeah, I think he's asking if we're ready to move it or we need to keep working it. And I hope we can make whatever changes and bring it to executive and finance.
Yeah. And if you want to get back to me on those,
We're on the, page 3, it says renewal license. It says any license issued under this ordinance after the initial 2-year license has expired. So is that supposed to be 1 year?
we're,
Under renewal license, so, it'd be actually on page 2, it's page 3 of this document. But it says ordinance, the short-term rentals, that's page 1, they're not pages numbered. And then where it says person at the top and defines that, just below that a little bit, it says renewal license.
okay, yep.
That says 2-year.
All right, I thought I fixed that one, but I'll change it to 1.
Yeah, and then, there was another location too.
I thought I caught them all, but it's,
Under short-term rental license, excuse me.
did I miss another one?
Yeah, there was another one that said 2-year.
I'm looking.
Yeah, I saw it. No, then I scrolled back to that one. I'll try to find it, but it did say 2-year.
I wonder if we could circulate the updated STR and then before we take it to executive fine, just for us to review it to make sure there's no more glitches or anything like that.
If you find it, let me know.
Yeah, I will. I'll work it. I'll look.
It's possible I missed it. Trying not to. There was a lot of. So yeah, if you see it,
Here it is. Under where it says short-term rental license,
Sections.
section, and it's got XXX-4.
right.
Under A,
Oh, yep, I see it right there.
it says 2 years.
Should be 1 year.
Renewed biannually.
Yep.
That should say annually.
And I thought I fixed those, but hey. So in the next, in the next bit, just let me know and I'll fix those. If you see anything else in the next couple of days.
Could you fix those and then just email it to us?
Yeah,
and
if
then
we can get,
review one more time?
circulate the updated.
Right, I'll fix what these spots are. I'll probably do it today. And then I'll,
Bob Frank.
yeah, I'll do Bob. Yep.
Everybody gets a look at it. And then-
Thank you.
But let me know, I'll be gone the end of this week, so if I need to get it to,
And the executive finance is the 11th, so we've got a little time.
Got a week from Tuesday, yeah.
so if you get it to me, yeah, but like I said, I'll be gone the end of this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so.
And when you respond back to her, don't copy everyone, just respond
Okay,
back to
right.
her.
Okay. So I'll fix those and then if anything else, let me know before the end of the day, maybe tomorrow. Then I'll send them out or, we're not leaving until about 7:30 Wednesday morning, so my daughter has to drop me off early because we're done 1 vehicle. So long story. So I can quick come in and look and see if you sent me anything. I'll make those changes and then
Pass it on.
pass it on to Derek.
Okay. Right, Billy. All right, so that was STR. And ready to tackle the zoning ordinance now? I noticed you had at least one thing that you still weren't sure about, you put it in blue. What do you, probably need to look at that, right?
Yeah. And I got a new one for myself and I don't know where it went. So I'll look at this one.
Let me find it. Page 12, where the whole camper thing.
Yeah.
Left that. I'm trying to remember what we said also.
I think that was determining how you, if you wanted to do. I gotta find page. A single resident. I gotta find, oh, you were talking about possibly taking it out and talking to Attorney Wendell that it's kind of hard to, by the time, that time period, by the time you find out they're out there, and then you go through the process of stopping it, it's back to where they can have it out there again. I think is what you kind of would, you know.
Hard to enforce.
Hard to enforce. It's like, yeah, we're having a hard enough time with some other things, like temporary, 3-year placement of got one there, 3-year placement of a mobile home while a house is being built and it's still sitting there. So if we can't do something of that, how are you gonna do something that's,
Right.
and I know that when Cheryl was here, they had somebody that was living in a camper and she sent something to the wrong Mary. It by the time things got done and they could do enforcement on it, it was already after March 1st.
And I think we were really more worried about sanitation really than anything, and we felt if there was an issue, the sanitation part would.
And that's one thing I think we can address in the sanitary ordinance. Make sure it's addressed there.
And you thought you'd start working on that next year? When?
After we get done with this, then I think when I know more after talking to other counties and
Okay.
then we can talk about,
You've got enough background on it, then you can put it on our agenda, whenever that might be.
right.
Okay.
So like I said, I don't know. Oh, the other thing you were asking about, and that's where I was looking for my things, I must have left them sitting on my desk. The thing about, just above there, it talks about the community-based residentials with 8 or fewer, or those. So I got a hold of, I don't know who it is over at Health and Human Services, and they gave me the breakdown. There is a breakdown, the sizes, but just what they quantify them as. And I don't,
Crossed out anything having to do with quantities.
yeah, because that's what you guys had looked at. And let's see if I can find the email I got from her. Roxanne. I'm just looking for the email I got from Roxanne. All right, come on, there's my mouse. Okay. Okay, so what she said is there's different, but community-based residential facilities are, there are 3 different sizes and classifications, which are licensed. There's small, which is, it's basically calling it small, it's 8 or 5 to 8, medium, which is 9 to 20, and large as 21 or more. So I don't know why, I don't know what they're thinking about in the ordinance, why it was put in there, based on size, that's why. I don't know if that's really needs to be in there. Because one is allowed and one is with a conditional use or something, isn't it? Permitted uses and one's condition, the bigger, anything less than 8 is conditional use or allowed. The other ones are conditional use permits. And I don't know why it was said that way.
But you're okay with the way you've marked it up now for now?
I'm okay. I mean, if it's community based, they still have to, they have to come in, they have to have, if there's, they have to have the right septic systems, setbacks and all that.
They have their own rules that they need to follow.
Yeah.
I had a couple of things from my old markup I wanted to double check on. Was there anything else you wanted to point out?
No,
I can't remember what we said. If you look at the lot size, table 1. I can't remember what we said, because I was asking why for ag forest is the floor area of 600 square feet. All the others are 960. I didn't understand why that one was different.
I don't know.
Well, if we changed it to be consistent, what kind of repercussions would there be?
Did we talk about that last time?
That's what I'm saying. I can't
It'll be
remember.
in our minutes, yeah.
It may not be in the minutes. So
Yeah.
We covered a lot of
We
stuff.
did.
But like I said, I don't know. That was one I didn't put down, but, I don't know why they have to be at least. Why it's, the floor dwelling only has to be 600 feet. To be lower than the other ones, I'm not sure.
Well, I'd like to resolve that before we pass this on.
No, I'm not ready to pass it on, I think that we still have.
Okay. Yeah, let's keep, and I don't know how much time you guys have had to look at all our markups, but we need to make sure we've looked at them and we're still, that we're okay with what her capturing it is. And so that takes time. So I don't want to move this on yet, but let's study what you've done. And then, like I said, I still have a couple other questions. If I remember right, these even though our ordinance calls out conservancy districts and scenic districts, we don't have any. Or do we have one?
I don't think we do officially.
Yeah, I think it was said that we have.
I just wondered how they come into existence or why they're in.
Well, I think like a conservancy would be if. I don't know, like if for some reason the state would come in and buy some land or something and they want, I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm not asking you to do research on it. It just seemed interesting that they're in there if you don't have any.
I think it's more if they do come in that there's certain things that we don't get put on them. That's areas we don't build on.
So I know what it says.
Yeah.
How they describe. I'm just wondering how they come into existence. All right. And then I had this question is just me to inform myself better. The certificate of compliance on page 27 that you guys do, that's what we call an occupancy permit, isn't it? Or am I thinking of something?
I think so. This, and that's one thing maybe we should change. We've got. The certificate of compliance is actually a placard. Like if somebody comes in for a land use permit to build something, we have now, and it was Katrina's idea, and that was a great idea. For sanitary, we issue sanitary, we had a placard they had to put up.
Right.
Well, we were having people trying to build stuff and they hadn't gone through the whole process of their, they hadn't been approved yet for a land use permit.
Right.
So now we hand them a placard. That's the certificate of compliance. compliance. It's a placard that says, yeah, you've been approved to put in the structure.
Okay. I call that a building permit. I'm not sure if that's a different thing.
Building, truly, the building permit, we issue a land use permit. The building permit is like, if it's building for like a residence, so, and that goes to, it goes to the UBC person, Matt, and he's one that actually issues a building permit for.
For each individual township, whoever they have.
Right, that is the, if they want it for human occupancy.
Right. Okay, so then, what is this one then?
This is just, oh, you come in and you want to build a shed on your property.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure it's not in the shoreline zoning, floodplain zoning.
Right.
Any of that stuff. You've gotten all you're in the correct zoning district and that. And then got a driveway and address. And then we sign off on it saying, yes, you can go ahead and put this shed on your property.
But it's not a building permit. All right,
Because it's a purchased shed, perhaps.
Well, it could be, yeah, it doesn't matter what it is, but as long, you have permission, technically called land use permit from us. Building permit comes,
let's say it's a pole shed or a garden shed, wherever you're not occupying it. So you don't need an occupancy permit. You still need a building permit. How does that happen? Who does that?
we do that as the land use permit. You're calling, that's a technical term for it.
It's just one permit. But you don't call it a building permit.
I don't know, they've called it land use permit.
And for any
Are you,
size
do you guys
shed-
understand this? Explain it.
Okay, land use permit says that you met all the qualifications for the county, that you can build,
Okay,
but then you need a building permit to actually build that structure.
Sure, for residents.
but if it's not a residence,
You don't need that is the building permit. The land use permit is the building permit.
okay, this helps. See, I got a permit to build a garden shed because it's bigger than 120 square
Yep.
feet. I thought it was a building permit. It wasn't. It was a land use permit.
Yeah, when they come in, the actual name of it is a land use application.
But if it's going to be a residency, you do need a separate document. Okay, got it.
And the size requirement is what again for the land use permit?
I think it's like anything over. Anything over 120 square feet.
That's what it is. Yeah, for,
So if you purchase a shed that's less than that, you can put it on your property, you don't need a permit.
Or you could build
Or
one.
build
Or
Build
build one.
Yep.
but it was too big.
So yeah, let me know if there's anything you see. I know it's a lot. If you see something else that we need to talk about, you know. But the certificate compliance, I don't know if we should change it to a land use placard.
I'm not sure what the best term is though, but you guys do them all the time. Refer to you guys on what the best term is.
All right,
You guys agree with that? Let them-
but we switched to doing that because we had a few people that went ahead and built stuff and it's like, no, we didn't give you permission to do that yet.
Okay,
So, Mr. Chair, just so I'm
all right.
clear.
So anything else you want to bring up right now about it or?
But
Miranda's got it.
Sorry, you're still talking.
Sorry.
it's okay.
I was just clarifying for the minutes, you guys aren't making a motion on the zoning ordinance, you're going to continue reviewing it
Yep,
and bring it back next month?
Yes,
yep.
we'll bring it back next month.
It's just a lot to.
Thank you for trying to follow Robert's rules. We need to tighten up on that. Anyway, so that's enough for now.
Yep, and make sure you look through, like, I moved under the general commercial, I moved some of the things around, like, and if I missed anything, when we talked about with Attorney Wendell,
Yeah.
why things were under conditional use permit and some were permitted.
There's a
So,
lot- You did a lot of shuffling.
yeah, and so kind of look those over, and make sure there's something else you think I should move, or something else should be added, let me know.
All right. All right, next on the agenda, Water study project.
I don't know, we don't have water. Not gonna have a water study project, something we'll have to look at, see if we can find the money to put in the budget for next year.
What even is that?
That was like the well study we did.
Oh, yeah.
Dawes study,
Yeah.
or whatever. And also, I know that there's problems with the other counties that we partnered with, Rockford and Vernon, that they are going to either, so we might have to start the whole thing over again.
Right.
But I think we should have some kind of motion from, or something from this committee that says we want to do that and take it to the full board.
If that carries any weight, I agree. But that,
It could be added to the budget as well.
Right, yeah, I'm thinking, once we kind of figure out how much money and what we want to do,
3,000.
it's 3,000.
We might have to, that was a number of years ago.
So I gotta find out how much it's gonna cost again, and then what we're looking at is paying for half of it. And then, like, have it, like, Mark would bring us well sample in, and he'd pay, say it was $80, we'd pay 40, he'd pay 40.
so, I understand, then you intend to pursue that and try to get it on the work agenda for the future
Like, yeah, we start the budget talks.
budget, yeah.
That's called Dawes, the Driftwood Area Water Studies.
Yep. So that's one thing, it's in the resiliency thing too, so.
Right. So really not something to take action on right now.
No, but I think when it gets closer to budget time, I think something from you saying that
This is important.
this is important. Yeah.
Priority. And
Has Derek said anything about when you want to start doing that?
He said, I don't remember. It's because they're still trying to sort it out.
Kind of busy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Will you be able to have an estimated cost in the next month or so?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I just need to email the lab up there and find how much it is.
Okay. Number 12. What's this one?
Yes, so we have a conservation reserve enhancement program easement in the county that was found to be in violation with some of the easement, I guess, provisions. And to resolve these issues, we are proposing a change to the conservation plan. And this, I guess, didn't make it into the packet, so I could give you guys a copy of the proposed plan and map. The map.
What exactly did they do wrong?
So it is supposed to remain in, because it was a perpetual easement,
Oh,
it's supposed to remain in.
This was on our.
Yeah, this is in our iPad.
Oh, it is? Okay, well then, you guys don't need it. You maybe.
I do, yes.
Yeah, sorry. It is supposed to remain in permanent, well, it was in the original conservation plan, it is a grass filter strip. So it was previously cropland converted to this perpetual easement. It's supposed to remain in grass cover in perpetuity. And after their federal CRP1 contract expires, then it becomes, I guess, the state DAT cap, and the county's kind of.
We make sure it's in basic compliance.
They're in charge of making sure it's in compliance. So their federal contract expired, I think, in 2019 or 2020. And so every 4 or 5 years, DATCAP wants them to be monitored. So this year, me and an intern with the Department of Agriculture went out and monitored the easement and found that a majority of it was planted to soybeans. And so we need to get that back into compliance. And so talking with the landowner, he was very willing to get it back into compliance, but instead of converting or getting it back to the grass filter strip, which is the conservation practice that is required per the original conservation plan and whatnot, he was wondering if they could plant trees there. So we are proposing a revision to the conservation plan to change the conservation practice to a riparian forest buffer. And this is going to help it, if it's planted to trees, it's going to be way less easy to be planted to crops again in the future. And it also they own the land for hunting primarily, so it's also gonna help them utilize it recreationally, just to the best of their abilities for years to come.
So they're an absentee landowner that let someone farm it, is that the deal?
Yeah, they own,
Slowly.
yeah, up above there is still cropland. This required for the conservation program was previously farmed, and then back in guess I can't remember the year, the conservation practice was originally put in 2004, was when it was originally planted to the grass filter strip, and it's supposed to remain a grass filter strip. But now we are proposing a change to the conservation practice instead of a grass filter strip to be a riparian forest buffer, which is basically trees.
Do you design the,
So yeah, I put together the plan according to NRCS standards for a riparian forest buffer. I guess in the proposed plan, you can see all of the I guess job sheets that are to be followed. I do have all of them here. I didn't put them in, but there is the riparian forest buffer implementation requirements, which sets like the standards of, or like all the feet that's gonna, like the width of the thing, which is pretty much all the same, just.
if I went to NRCS and looked at those, I could figure out what you're gonna do.
This sorta, you could read through all of the standards. There was a lot. It took me a while to read through all of them and make sure I was meeting all the standards. But after approval here, it will go to DATCAP to be approved, and they will do the final.
And how are the costs covered?
It is
Totally his.
all, yeah, responsibility of the
It's his
landowner,
responsibility,
There's no reimbursement for that, yeah, it's all
No.
on them.
because it is,
a violation.
it was a violation.
For a tax benefit, why would they do it?
Back when those were put in, there's two parts of the program. There's the 15-year agreement with Farm Service Agency, the federal government. They get extra money for putting in the practice, a payment, they get an extra payment from the state if they involve the county designing the plan. It's for the, if they say, okay, I'm gonna keep it in as long as the CRP contract is in place, they get 1.5 times the soil rental rate. If they decide to put in a perpetual easement, they get 12 times that amount. And so that's the incentive, is they get a lot more money.
But since this was one where they were naughty, they don't get any more money.
Yeah, well, I think in all debt cap things, if they want to do any, yes, if there was a change to the conservation practice, they have to cover the cost of it. There's some other land use provisions that DATCAP will allow, sometimes that they will provide some funding.
But it has to go through this committee.
This plan has to come, yeah, the normal ones, if they're putting it the first time, they don't have to. But if they have to, they're making a change to the plan after the original 15-year is up with Farm Service Agency, then it has to come it has to come to the committee for approval,
So.
and then I sign it.
Us all reading all these NRCS standards, sound like a good deal, right? I mean, let's get some trees planted and everything.
What kind of trees are they planting?
Pines and black walnut. They had already went ahead and purchased the trees before we did the final plan, and it's advised for the area white pine, but they wanted to plant red pine and already purchased the red pine. It's on like the southern edge of like the native, I guess the pine's native range, the red pine, so I guess we'll see how well it is.
Sorry, too bad. Don't do this together.
I mean, I could have, but I guess another good reason why I'm confident in this plan is the guy's son has graduated with a forestry degree, and he's like gung ho on doing this, managing this forest stand, and so I'm like, okay, he came up with this plan. He's pretty confident in it.
Red pine is kind of
I don't know how well it will establish there. I know it's like a wet, I think it's medium, is it? I have.
Is it more of just a crop for the walnut or?
Well, it's not the intended plan. I'm down the line. They can ask for another plan revision to allow timber harvest. And at that point, it could be for that, but it is not built into this current plan.
Okay.
So you're talking about red pine?
Yeah,
We're offering it in our tree sales, so we must
yeah.
approve it.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't mean approve it, but I mean, we're
selling.
saying it's
Yep.
And
available for this area.
in the like NRCS documents, it technically met the standards for the soil moisture regime and like the region we're in. It just isn't advised over white pine, I guess. But it did technically meet all the standards, so I didn't. They wanted it, and based on everything I read, I felt comfortable
I'm
allowing
very good
it.
at researching things.
Okay.
I like
They
it.
already bought the trees.
I know, I'm like, okay.
When it's on our site.
Yeah.
If it weren't on our site, then maybe there's a.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
But anyway, we need a motion to change in the conservation plan. Okay, Mark's and Julie second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. All right. Now we're to, oh, your grant application.
Yeah, so we're into the grant applications. This is, if I get it in before get it in before the end of this month, then, we'll know sooner whether we get this grant or not. And it'll help with budgeting purposes. I've talked with Southwest Regional and they agreed to do it, they said they do it for $20,000 plan. And with 50, so it'd be $10,000. That part would be $10,000 for Southwest, we'd have to come up with. But I put in for a little bit more because we can use some of our time. So if we're doing a mailing or whatever, then our time acts as a match too. So I added another $2,500 onto that. So I'm applying for a grant for $12,500.
Wait, but you also, you had some printing publication costs.
Yeah, that
So
2,500
it's
is.
half of 5,000. Got it, okay.
So, and if I don't get it, we still have to update the plan, and so I'll be the one writing it, and but we'll hopefully can do it through the budget process. I can find $10,000 to cover Southwest Regional's part of it.
And you need a motion?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can take it to county board, it's a new grant.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
And Julie second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is Mr. Wilkins online? I thought I saw an email from him that he was. Anyway, all right, so,
And it looks like Attorney Wendell is online.
sorry,
Attorney Wendell's online.
so he is here?
And you can see he's on the screen.
I can't see it, but I'll take the word for it.
He's there.
Oh,
Yes,
Mr.
we have
Wendell,
a question.
no, I thought, Mr. Wilkins, I thought I saw it. Maybe he was just saying he couldn't make it.
So you didn't finish that up.
So you're good with that now?
Well, you gotta say all in favor, say aye.
Did I say that?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Okay, never mind.
But no voting.
No vote.
We can vote again.
That's fine.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I don't know. I'm like Maureen, I'm not sure.
We are, so.
Oh, we are.
Doubly sure. All right, so that was the preservation grant.
Yeah.
Now the dad cab. What's that one?
That's the annual grant we get from the state for staffing and cost share.
Okay, got it.
And different from previous years, because half my time is now being spent on zoning.
Right.
We can't use me as the top position. So I'm actually down as the third position because it's 50, it's 70% of the 50%. 50% of the 50%, yeah, is what mine's eligible for, so. So that's how I came up with the totals.
What are our totals?
The total for what I'm asking for, doesn't mean we're gonna get for the staffing, $134,680. And then we asked for $75,000 for land and resource water, like, what Derek works on. Got those, and then $20,000 for things that Corey works like cover crops and nutrient management planning.
I'll make a motion to.
I'll second.
Second by Julie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, got that one. And then Ayers. Oh, yeah, that with the LiDAR.
The contract, and I think I talked to Attorney Wendell about this too, that they work through this LiDAR stuff, and the orthophotography goes through the Wisconsin Regional Ortho Imagery Consortium, WROC. And basically, they're the ones that they do the procurement and all that stuff, they vet out. So, so it's to do the enhancements to the LiDAR that we got a couple years ago. So that it can be actually more user friendly.
So help me understand a little bit. We have some LiDAR data, it's just not on the public GIS.
It's not in the public, it's not even, for us, like Derek wants to use it to look at designing a practice and seeing where, figuring out drainage areas and how the water flows. He has to search through to try to find the right, what do you call it? I don't know what they call it, the little, what is it called?
Watershed?
It's not even by watershed, it's like, the county has all these little
Oh, sections?
sections. It's not by section, but it's, so you have to pull up everything and then you have to convert some stuff. And this way we wouldn't have to do that. He could just say, okay, this is my drainage area, and it would calculate it for him, is one thing.
So it's not like they fly over and do another thing, it's just a better software.
It's up taking what we got in that flyover in 2021
Okay.
and make it so we can actually really use it. My department, land and zoning, highway, emergency management. That's just the county offices that I know right away that could use that information. And then,
So essentially, what we had before wasn't at all user friendly. I was gonna ask you to build the case for doing this, and you just did.
yep,
Okay.
it's just, so, the money would come from our 2024 land information grant, our 2025 land information grant, and then the rest would come from the retained fees.
For what?
Retained fees.
What is that?
When things are recorded, a portion of that money goes into that fund.
How much is in there?
Quite a bit. I don't remember. Julie Lenz knows what amount is in there. But we have the money to use it. It hasn't been touched in a long time, and so it's there for us to use. So let's use something that's
What are the uses that you can do with that money?
things that are related to land information.
Could you give us a little info on that for our next meeting? How much is there? What kind of things you use it for? What potential things you could use it for?
Yeah, Julie and I could talk. I'm going to talk to her after this meeting, so she and I can
And you'll bring that back today?
just discussion, not action, but just discussion.
Okay, just discussion.
Yeah, Julie's got all the numbers. She does the number stuff. I did the grant stuff.
Okay.
Teamwork.
All right. And so, once again, you need a motion and approval.
Yep.
Okay. I take a motion. Julie makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Richard makes second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We got the LiDAR.
Do you have any questions for Attorney Wendell you want to ask about, or
What's that?
with Attorney Wendell being online, anything you want to ask him about, or?
If nothing has spun him, I'm not gonna bother him.
Okay.
Correspondence. You? Future agenda items. What do you guys got? Future agenda.
We talked about a couple already. but-
Right, we talked about DAWs and talked about, bringing the ordinance back.
Yep, yep.
And then the, land information.
Yep, the fees, routine fees.
Are you getting this, Miranda? We're kind of mumbling.
Okay, so you want, the zoning ordinance is coming back, correct?
Right.
Short-term rental, is that one?
No,
I don't think we need to bring that.
Hopefully not.
we're gonna circulate that.
Yeah, hopefully.
The latest one and then.
Yep.
Rental of the ordinance is coming back and info.
And more information on the water study.
All right, those are the three things that I have.
Okay,
And then that zoning petition that we skipped. What is some-
Oh, yeah.
Next month.
Hopefully they have their stuff together.
okay. Well, that's a good start. All right. I think we're ready to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn meeting.
Second.
Julie and Mark, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Okay.
Yeah. My daughter's one of them that she was a 4-H person and now she's